Hampton Court Palace has seen 500 years of dramatic and often violent history. Many have lived and died here. Small wonder then that it is often considered to be one of the most haunted buildings in Britain. During the day, it is a sumptuous stage on which the visiting public see stories of its royal past played out. But when the tourists leave and the shadows lengthen, that stage is set for altogether more sombre, darker stories. I'm David Packer. I'm a warder here at Hampton Court Palace, and I'm going to take you to some of the places where these darker stories are played out. Hampton Court Palace is most closely associated with King Henry VIII, the mighty and larger-than-life Tudor monarch, notorious for his 6 wives, all of whom stayed at Hampton Court Palace. It is said that 3 of them have never quite left. For instance, here, the Silver Stick Stairs, named after the staff of office of one of the monarch's personal attendants. At the top of these stairs is the room where King Henry VIII's 3rd wife, Jane Seymour, provided him with the longed-for son. In that room, she died less than a fortnight later. And it's down these stairs, around the anniversary of her death, that her silent, white figure glides down, holding a lighted taper, out into Clock Court in the direction of her son's rooms. King Henry's 5th wife, Catherine Howard, was a teenager when she became Queen of England and wife of a bloated, impotent husband. It would appear that she took her pleasures elsewhere, but here at Hampton Court Palace she was arrested for those alleged adulteries and placed under lock and key in her own apartments, there to await her journey to the Tower of London and her date with the headsman's axe. Legend has it, though, she got free and made her way here, to the gallery outside the royal pew where she believed Henry to be praying, there to plead for her life. The guards took her and dragged her screaming back to her incarceration and her eventual doom. Over the years, many members of public and visitors and staff have reported hearing the screams, feeling the chills, and often fainting. In the reign of Elizabeth I, a lady named Sybil Penn succumbed to smallpox in the palace. As she had been the foster mother effectively to young Prince Edward, she was buried in a magnificent tomb at Hampton Church not far from here. She lay there undisturbed until the 1800s, when her tomb was destroyed during a storm. At that point, she seems to have moved back into the palace. The Ponsonby family, who lived in the rooms behind me here, started to report many strange and uncanny happenings. Servants complained of being woken by cold hands on their face in the night, the sound of an old woman muttering and moaning, and the whirring, trundling of a spinning wheel. The investigations found a secret room, long forgotten, plastered over, and in that room was a very old, very worn spinning wheel. The discovery doesn't seem to have deterred Sybil at all. From that day to this, she's been seen by many people, public and staff, Victorian soldiers and modern office workers. All have been disturbed by their encounters with the cold, grey lady. Not all of the ghosts here have a royal pedigree. One evening, while closing up the door there to my left, a warder turned to find herself standing less than a yard from a tall, dark, cowled figure. Some of the ghosts aren't even human. In some panelled rooms elsewhere in the palace, a large dog lies quietly by a now cold fire. And some ghosts aren't even seen or heard. They're smelt. In Queen Caroline's private apartments, warders frequently report not just smelling, but being followed by the scent of perfume, lavender and rose petals in Queen Caroline's empty private rooms. For the last 170 years, we warders have been at Hampton Court Palace both by day and by night. We have been in a unique position to collect not only ghostly stories from the visitors, but to have those experiences ourselves. The stories I've been telling you come from statements from warders, other members of staff and the public down through the years. As trustworthy as these statements may be, they don't constitute physical evidence. We had nothing that we could study until 2003, when these perfectly solid, rather boring modern fire doors burst open day after day, captured on CCTV. On one particular occasion, which millions of people have seen on the internet and in newspapers, a figure, a rather strange, tall, spare figure, appears after the doors open and closes them. The camera looks down through the doorway and sees in as far as here. Day after day these doors burst open. Day after day there was nothing here. On one day a figure appears, possibly a member of the public, closes these doors. What's important, what's interesting, is not who closed these doors, but what opened them. If these walls could talk, they could tell us the truth behind these tales, and many more besides. The only way for you to find out for yourself is to come here and let them talk to you.